everybody, welcome to this here running back series in Madden 16. This is your host Frank over at Popular Gaming. I'm gonna be playing as a running back for the Cowboys here. The main reason I want to prove here as a running back is that tough yards, tough runs, and a strong running game for your team can be uh, a very successful game plan. So I'm just gonna come out there, execute the running game as best I can, and also try to participate in the passing game as much as I can without, really hogging that ball as much. Um, so right here, I'm gonna be participating in the first running play of our season, and it wasn't a very successful one. Only 1 yard, one very tough yard right there against a very good Giants defense. What I foresee is gonna be the biggest trouble for me is the fact that oh boy, it was intercepted. Um, the biggest problem that I'm gonna be facing here is the fact that this is gonna be in all Madden, so runs are not gonna be easy by any means. Do I want any easy things come my way? Actually, I do want challenges, and I'm gonna stand up to the challenge and do the best performance that I can with this team. I'm gonna try to bring back some of that success that they had going when DeMarco Murray was with them. I'm going to try to bring the Cowboys back to that mentality that they had when they had that very tough running back, in their back of the field. Where more often than not they will go ahead and run the ball, see some success from it, and continue to run the ball and continue to see some success. That'll free up a lot of options for their passing game. And a lot of the success we saw from the Cowboys last season was, a big reason for it was the fact that they had that very strong running game. So I want to take it a step further. I want to be such a key player that the whole team can rely on me. Even in the toughest of situations, we can rely on the running game, which is unseen, unheard of, where you are, up your backs are against the wall and you go ahead and run it. That I've never seen that happen. I have watched football for a long, long time now, and I never seen it where it's the fourth quarter, you're under the 2 minute mark left, and you go ahead and call up a you know run play and end up winning the game when you're down by more than a touchdown. When you're down by more than a touchdown, more often than not, what teams go ahead and do is go ahead and pass it, sling it, and that's the QB, the whole. Oh boy, I thought it was gonna be against us. That's a good one right there. The whole outcome of the game relies solely on the QB's shoulders. I do want to take some pressure off of Romo. He's a little old. If anything, I want to provide more of a relief to him than anything else. Also, I want to be that kind of security blanket that Jason Witten has been for so many years now. I do call him Captain America because man, he's tough. His toughness is off the charts. Game in and game out, he gives it all. He puts everything on that field. Right here, you can kind of see that my catching is a little bit on the poor side of things because every time I catch the ball, it just fall on the field, fall into the field. I don't know why that mechanic has been coming up for the two receptions that I've had so far, where I just fall into the ground after catching, or yeah, after receiving the ball and after catching it. So I don't know what's going. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or something, but I'm pretty sure it's because of my low overall. Right here, I'm at a 66 overall. Um, I was a non-drafted free agent. I'm a rookie, of course. I just wanted to give you a little bit of my background here. So we have a lot to prove. We fought our way through the depth chart, through the roster to make the depth chart here as the first, running back. We proved ourselves during the preseason. We have a very solid preseason. Uh, Nothing that stood out, nothing that was, very amazing as far as stats go. But more than anything, what stood out for us was our working ethic, our practice ethic, and the fact that we stand up to challenges, we take them on. and we don't back away from him. That's what Frank Toro is all about. Taking on challenges and head first. And right here, I'm just gonna try to keep it coming with the running plays. I'm gonna try to find, my running style. More than anything, I'm gonna try to break those tackles. I did choose that tough type of running back that will just run through the tackles, put defenders on their butts, and head for the promised land. So I'm not too quick. I'm not a very speedy wide receiver. I mean, a very speedy running back. When it comes down to it, we will make those explosive plays. You can count on that. Right here, we're having a very tough first game. Of course, it was to be expected. This is our very first game ever. We have a little bit of the jitters right here. We're trying to shake them off as we are approaching the red zone, and we really need to prove our worth right here. Uh, if we are to move forward with this franchise, we really need to prove that we are a reliable player that they can make an investment on moving forward. And what better way to prove that than seizing the opportunities when they present themselves. Unfortunately, we were almost knocking on their door, but a couple of bad plays made us come back to almost the middle of the field. There's a flag right there. I don't know who's gonna go against, but hopefully not our team because we're already suffering as it is. I don't want to be suffering from penalties. Oh boy, he set off. Oh, it was me who made the penalty, who committed the penalty. That's just awful. It's not the best way to, you know, perform in your debut game here in the regular season. We certainly showed up some potential during the preseason, but none of that matters now. All that matters is our performance here in our first game. Um, we're down 3 points. It's a very tough Giants defense that we're facing up against. But if anything, the Cowboys have a way of finding ways to win. Not for anything, they are, one of the greatest franchises in sports history. Not only in football, but also in any type of any type of sport. The Cowboys are kind of like the gold standard when it comes to franchises. And more often than not, you can attribute that to the type and the quality of players that they end up picking up. Whether it's through the draft or through the free agency. As you can see, Romo right there, he was a free agent. He was an undrafted free agent, if my memory serves me well, and he came to become one of the most, stats-wise, one of the most successful players in Cowboys history. Um, a lot of the stats he has, the touchdowns, the passing yards, certainly back that argument. However, he is a little bit, uh, there's a lot that is left. A lot what we expected on the winning side of things as far as the winning record goes in the postseason. That's something that Romo's resume is lacking of. But if anything, we're here to kind of help that and in the way build a very strong resume for ourselves as well. If anything, having been picked up by the Cowboys was a very humbling a very humbling experience and a very good one too. And if anything, all I see in front of me is a lot of potential. As far as moving forward with this franchise, what they need is a very reliable running back that can bring the winning ways back to Dallas, and that is something I feel comfortable that I can do. Like right here, if I can keep this place, going for them, they're certainly going to be very appreciative of what I can do. Right here, I'm just gonna keep dialing those running games, those running plays right here, and trying to make, uh, gain those tough yards that we need in order to win this game because this is a tough game. I can tell you that. And we're gonna be focusing on. Oh boy, that's a touchdown for me right there. That was a very tough touchdown. That is my very first touchdown of my career, right there. I can just you can see I'm enjoying it. I'm pumped up, and I want more. At the end of the day, I want as many touchdowns, as many carries as I can get for myself. Uh, but at the also, when everything is said and done, I want it to be, um, because I want to win, not because I want it for my personal stats or anything like that. That's gonna come second to everything. Of course, what comes to my mind, it's gonna be that W that we can. That's always up there for the take. Whenever two opponents, two teams meet, that W is always up there for whoever wants it more. That's what it all comes down to it. Who wants it more? And I certainly want it bad. I didn't came off a very uh, of a very disappointing draft that I wasn't picked up from. I had to taste the sour taste of free agency as a rookie, as an undrafted rookie. Dallas decided to take their chances with me. I didn't have the best measurements. I didn't have the best stats coming off of college. I didn't have the best, not even the best film out there. But what I did have was the best work ethic, and the best practice ethic also. And I'm just here trying to make this team win with me. And oh boy, I got tough in the backfield right there. Very unfortunately, so we are nearing the end of this game. We already have a touchdown, but it's not a very good performance otherwise. As far as yardage, as far as receptions and yards after the catch, we have not been able to do much on those departments. That is something that we're going to be looking after the game. We're going to be looking at the game film. We're going to be trying to address the issues on the upcoming games here. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to seal this one for us here. We're gonna try to get another touchdown through the run game right here. And had I been able to break that tackle for number 20 right there, I would have been able to get myself another TD. More than that, I would have been able to solidify our lead and possibly seal our win right here. So that is not gonna deter me from that. I'm just gonna keep trying. Right there, there's a flag. If it's against the defense, that's gonna be putting us in the in the number one of them. Oh, that's a holding. Is gonna actually bring us back. That's horrible right there. Number 72. I'm just gonna try to see if I can make something out of nothing from this far, this far off from the promised land. And I stumble my way all the way to almost the 5 yard line right there, and maybe one more run is gonna do it. Let me see what I can do here. I feel good about that defensive formation. I don't think they're gonna be able to bring me down before I see the end. Oh boy, they brought me down at the 2 yard line. You know what? I can smell the end zone, and I don't like that. I'm not gonna rest until I see it, and until I see those 6 points for my team right there in the scoreboard. I'm not gonna give up right there. Oh boy, that was a very good adjustment. Their defense didn't see it, wasn't able to compensate for it, and right there we got our second touchdown of the game, second touchdown of our career. Very solid game when it comes down to getting the points. We still have to work a lot on in the other departments that make a good running back. So look out for that in the following games, in the following episodes. This is your host Frank signing out.